Today, we're diving into one of the most powerful and most misunderstood tools for gaining respect and control. And it all comes down to a battle that's happening inside your brain right now.
You've probably heard this before, right? Or maybe you've just felt it. You see that one person in a meeting. They're calm, they're quiet, but when they finally speak, everyone leans in. Why is that?
Now you might think, oh, they're just really confident, or maybe that's just their personality. But that's not the whole story. Not even close. The real reason is much, much deeper. It's biological.
Yeah, you heard that right. The person who has mastered silence is actually mastering their own brain's ancient survival code. And when they do that, they automatically start influencing the brains of everyone around them. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how it works. Okay, so first things first, we have to bust a huge myth that pretty much all of us were taught. This idea that to be powerful, you have to be the one who's always talking. So the common belief is pretty simple. Talking more makes you seem like you're in charge. But what the brain science actually shows is the complete opposite. Non-stop talking is often a huge red flag to other people's brains. It signals stress, nervousness, and a real lack of control. So to figure out why we talk too much, we've got to look at why our brains are so terrified of quiet in the first place. It really all comes down to the science of awkwardness. Come on, think about it. You know that feeling, right? That pause in a conversation that suddenly feels like it lasts an hour? That moment in a group when everyone just stops talking? Why does that make us feel so uncomfortable? Well, the answer is buried deep inside our brain's wiring. So let me introduce you to the main culprit, the amygdala. This little thing is your brain's alarm system. It's ancient, it's primitive, and it's built for one job, keeping you safe. And it sees a sudden pause in conversation, that's silence, as a potential threat. It basically starts screaming, "Warning, warning, you might be getting kicked out of the tribe." So this triggers a fear loop that happens automatically, in a split second. First, silence happens. Instantly your amygdala lights up, and you get that jolt of anxiety or social pain. So what do? You talk. You just fill that empty space with words, not because you have something important to say, but just to shut off that alarm bell and feel safe again. And this right here is the big catch. Rushing to fill the silence makes your primitive brain feel better for a second, sure. But to everyone else listening, it signals that you're just reacting, that you're not really in control. You're literally trading your power for a tiny bit of comfort.
Okay, so how do you break out of that loop? How do you flip the script? Well, it all comes down to a race that's happening inside your own head. And learning how to win that race is the secret to real power.
So think of it like this. You've got two racers in your brain. First, you have your fear brain, the amygdala. It is lightning fast. It reacts almost instantly with stress. Then you have your thinking brain, the prefrontal cortex. This is the part that handles logic and smart decisions, and it's way, way slower. It needs time to catch up to the race. So how much time does it need? This is the magic number, just 3 to 5 seconds. That's it. That little pause is the window of opportunity your slow, logical brain needs to catch up, override that initial panic signal, and take back control. That pause isn't empty space, it's winning time. And this is the core lesson right here. Anybody can react fast out of fear. That's easy, that's loud, it's messy, and it's weak. Real power, true power, is shown by the person who has the self-control to slow down, to wait for their own best thoughts, and to respond with purpose. You could also think about it like this. When you pause, your words actually mean something. They land with more impact because you've created space for them. But constant talking, that's just noise. It's cognitive clutter, and eventually, people just start to tune you out completely. All right, so we've covered the science. Now let's get super practical. Here are 3 simple rules you can start using today to tap into the power of silence. This is your new toolkit.
Okay, these are the 3 fundamentals. They're simple, but they are absolute game changers. Rule number 1, say what you need to say and then just stop. No filler words, no rambling. Rule number 2, as you finish talking, hold direct but relaxed eye contact. And rule number 3, when you do speak, do it slowly, on purpose.
So why does this actually work? Well, it's not magic, it's all back to the brain science. When you stop talking, you force the other person to actually think about what you just said. The silence does the heavy lifting for you. The eye contact signals you're confident and trustworthy. And that slow pace, that is a clear, undeniable signal to everyone that your brain is calm and you are in total control. So, let's bring this all home. It's time to stop thinking of silence as this empty, awkward thing we need to avoid. It's time to start seeing it for what it really is, your new superpower.
This is probably the biggest mindset shift you need to make. An intentional pause isn't empty at all. It's loaded. It's loaded with thought, with control, with expectation. It's what makes people lean in. It's what makes them really listen.
Look, if you remember just one thing from all of this, let it be this. Our brains are wired, on a deep, subconscious level, to respect composure. Rushing always signals panic. Slowness always signals control. When you master the pause, you are speaking a language of power that every single brain understands. Hey, if you found this breakdown of the science useful, do me a favor and hit those like and subscribe buttons. We've got a lot more explainers just like this one, giving you powerful, science-backed tools you can actually use.